This is Santos, and I'm gonna show you my deck profile. It's Elementalsabers. Hopefully, it's a pretty good deck. I really like it, and hopefully you guys like it too. So let's get this started. I run 3 Elementalsabers Lapulula Mana. His effect is that when you discard 2 monsters from your hand to the graveyard, you could special summon him, and depending on what attributes they are, he gains the following effect. If it was earth or wind, he cannot be destroyed by battle. If it was water or fire, he cannot be destroyed by card effects. If it was light or dark, your opponent cannot target it with card effects, which is pretty neat. I run 3 of him. Next, I run 1 Black Luster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. Why do I run this? Well, Elementalsabers monsters could actually change their attributes when they're in the graveyard. That's their first effect. With their other effects, which it's pretty easy to bring Black Luster Soldier out. His effect is like special summon by banishing 1 light and dark. To special summon him, once per turn you can battle. When he destroys a monster by battle, you can attack 1 more time. And I could target 1 face-up monster and banish it, but skip his battle phase. I run 1 Chaos Dragon Levineer. I could banish light or dark, 3 dark monsters to special summon it, and depending on what they are, he gains the following effects. If it was light or dark, he could destroy up to 2 cards. If it was only darks, he could shuffle 1 random card from your hand, and if it was only light, you could special summon a monster from your graveyard. And I run 1 Dark Armed Dragon. When you have exactly 3 dark monsters, you could special summon him, and you could banish a dark monster to destroy a card on the field. I run 1 Phosphorus of Elemental Lords. If you have exactly 5 light monsters in your graveyard, you could special summon him, and he's pretty much a Regeki in the deck. Yeah, he just destroys all monsters your opponent controls, which is pretty easy to have 5 light monsters because, like I'm saying, Elementalsabers could change except Elementalsaber Lapula Mana, except him, he cannot change his attribute, but every other ones you can. So it's pretty easy. I run 1 Elemental Hero Neos because I run the Elemental Neo Space Connector package, which is when he's normal summon, you could special summon Elemental Hero Neos from your deck and defense position, which I try to turbo out is Solb, which is in my extra deck. I'll run 1 Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. I bring this out with the new Union Carrier card, which is in my extra deck. When you equip this card with a monster, your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck, so it locks them out. For the Elementalsaber monsters, I run 2 Elementalsaber Malo. His effect is you could send an Elementalsaber monster from your hand to the graveyard to throw another Elementalsaber monster or Elemental Lord to the graveyard. And his attribute could be changed once per turn. I run 3 Elementalsaber Hyena. Her effect is when you pitch another Elementalsaber monster from your hand to the graveyard, you could special summon another Elementalsaber monster in your graveyard or Elemental Lord to your side of the field. I run 1 Elementalsaber Nalu. Her effect is that when you could send an Elementalsaber monster to your hand to the graveyard to add another Elementalsaber monster or Elemental Lord from your graveyard to your hand. I run 3 Elementalsaber Makani. Her effect is that when you send an Elementalsaber monster to the graveyard, you could search Elemental Lord or Elementalsaber monster to your hand, which is quite useful. I run 2 Elementalsaber Malehu. He's pretty much the Book of Moon. Once per turn, quick effect. You could send Elementalsaber monster to your hand to the graveyard to change 1 monster to face down defense position. I run 2 Elementalsaber Lapula. Her effect is once per turn, quick effect. You could, when a spell or track is activated, you can negate it by sending an Elementalsaber monster to your hand to the graveyard, which is quite neat. I run 2 equipped, 1 Malevolent Nuzzler and Acts of Despair, because its sole effect is that when you pitch depending on how many equipped spells you pitch, you could special summon a monster with the same amount you pitch. So if it was 2 quick spells, you could special summon a level 2 monster. I run 1 reinforcement of the army, 1 monster reborn, 1 terraforming, and 3 Palace of Elemental Lords. This field spell lets you, when you have different monster attributes in the graveyard, it gains all your monsters, not just elemental saber monsters, but gain 200 for each attribute you have in your graveyard. And once per turn, I could search an elemental saber monster from my deck to my hand, but I gotta skip my battle phase. And its secondary effect, which I don't have to skip my battle phase, is that I could pitch, instead of pitching elemental saber monster from my hand to the graveyard, I could just throw them from my deck to the graveyard. And it's only once per turn, so you gotta be mindful of that. I run 3 Called by the Graves because hand traps kill this deck. I hate to say it, but it does. I run 1 Solomon Judgment and 2 different type of Mirror Force. It depends on you. I run this ratio because sometimes you do have dull hands and you can't really do much and you want to stay in for the game. And I run 3 Elemental Trainings. What this does is that it protects your field spell. It says your opponent cannot target Palace Elemental Lords you control with card effects. So they gotta have to destroy this before they target your Palace Elemental Lords. And its second effect is that I could tribute 1 monster to special summon an Elemental Saber monster from my deck, which could be useful. And that's pretty much it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, I run 1 is sold because when she's link summon, I could search. Let's see, where is it? I could search Blackluster Soldier. However, I cannot special summon it the turn I'll search for it. So usually the second turn I'll bring them out. And I could pitch 2 equipped spells to special summon. Depending how many I pitch, I could special summon a level 1 or 2 monster to my side of the field and link climb again. I run 1 IP Masquerina, 1 Ugin Carrier for the other combo. I run 1 Crusadia just for link climbing. I run the Nightmare package, Cerberus, Nightmare Phoenix, Unicorn. I run 1 Decode Talker because he's a Cybers and it's pretty fun to bring him out. I run 1 Mega Knight Crusadia just for the boss monsters. Borosaur Dragon because OTK. I run 1 Appaloosa. My friend's Appaloosa is pretty funny, but yeah, I do. Okay. And because I do have level 8 targets, I could bring out just Dingirsu, number 30 Harbinger, and I run Tornado Dragon and a Bestoli. And that's it, you guys. Hopefully you guys like it. I want to hear what you guys think. Please comment down. And yeah, hopefully it's a really fun deck, and hopefully you guys like it. Thank you.